Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Top of the Hunt. Today, we've got a special guest with us, a very young man from Romania, David, who's created IMGPT. It's an interesting tool for startups, small businesses, and agency owners alike. So, without further ado, I'll pass you over to David. Hello, David. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. So my name is David. I'm from Romania. I'm currently almost 19, finishing high school, and I'm the co-founder alongside my brother of IMGPT.
That's wonderful. You and your brother, you've started a business that's got an international reach at 18, almost 19.
Yes,
Is this your first business you've started, or is this the latest one?
I think it's the fifth business, but the one that gained the most traction.
Yeah,
So
fantastic. What are you studying at university?
I'll be studying business management.
Oh,
So
of
pretty
course.
basic, yeah. But I'm also planning on getting a couple of courses for software development. So JavaScript and these sort of things.
Okay. But for the business you've created in the past, were they tech businesses or have they been more traditional businesses?
No, not at all. So the first business I have started was an e-commerce brand that sells toys in US,
Yeah.
which I was very hopeful that it will work, but it turned to be a flop. The next one was the digital product, a guide for kind of an SOP library for digital marketing that also didn't do very good. Then I started an online fitness coaching hub, let's say. Then the second most recent business and the one that actually is the main source of income for me at this time is a marketing and web development agency that I started almost 1 year ago. And that one, we've landed a few big customers and we're doing very well on that part. But since I've been working in this industry, in the marketing industry, I've seen that a lot of people like myself at the beginning don't really afford agencies because we have big fees. And most of the time, besides the fee of the agency, you also have to have budgets for spending on the ads. So I try to do something that's more budget friendly, that's easy to use for anybody, that gives results fast, and that's also very cheap. So this is why I founded IMGPT.
So it's in the tech world, they've got a phrase of eating your own dog food. So IMGPT was created as a tool for you and your own agency. And then you thought, do you know what? Let's use this for the people.
Yes, pretty much that was actually the case. We were working on a marketing campaign for us in the agency, and we said, why not use some AI created images for this campaign? So I've turned to Dolly, and after a couple of hours of prompt engineering, came up with some really good results. But then came the problem that, well, I know how to use AI and how to engineer some prompts, but most people won't. And also Dolly is a paid feature. So this led to the idea of IMGPT and making it easier for people to just create ads because you need just your link. So you have a product page, a landing page, a home page, a service page. You just paste the link in there and it creates ads automatically.
Oh, fantastic. So I would be able to have an e-commerce store and I could say, I've got 1,000 products. I could then
Yes,
give you 1,000 links, or I could
exactly.
give you that's a wonderful idea for it. It's an interesting way of solving that problem. You mentioned a few clients that you've had. Are they now going to be using your tool as well? Is that the plan, or are you keeping them on agency and then using this as a separate target audience completely?
Yes, so these clients are mostly service-based or enterprises, so they're not really the ideal customer for IMGPT because at this moment we are more focusing on small businesses and also solo entrepreneurs. So people that don't have experience in marketing and also they don't have time to learn design skills or money to hire agencies like us. But internally, we do use IMGPT to create certain creatives for certain companies.
I see from the pricing that you've given, it's $1 a generation to begin with. That puts you significantly cheaper than an Adobe stock or anything. So I think
I
you've
know.
stuck true to your word. It's
Yes.
a lot more affordable, isn't it?
Yes, because mainly this was the idea and the problem that we were trying to solve. Ads are expensive and good ads are expensive, not only because they cost money, but they cost time. You have to have a good
Yeah.
idea for them. And then you have to plan that idea, do a photo. You should have great cameras, great product pictures, all of that. And the first reason or why we created IMGPT was to make it as cheap as possible. And we are currently not looking to have huge profits. We just want to help people like me, like us, like my brother as well, because I know firsthand the struggles of being a small business owner and having to cope with a small budget and having to create good marketing campaigns.
I've worked with small businesses and startups of that type before. There was a book out many years ago. It was The Fortune at the Bottom of the Pyramid, I think it was called. And it was by Pralahad, I think. Anyway, the idea is at the bottom end of the pyramid, there's obviously billions of people. And it's the same sort of thing for businesses, isn't there? There's a lot more businesses that are generating less than £100,000 a year in revenue than there are unicorns out there.
Exactly.
So it's a very large market, and obviously it's about getting into them and letting them know that you're there. So from there, how are you going to go about marketing? Is this a continued go-to-market with Product Hunt, or are you going to be getting out and contacting small businesses and different platforms and things? What's your plans?
So basically, the Product Hunt launch was mostly to test the market for our tool. We've created before a landing page for people to sign up for the pre-launch access. So that was the first and the smallest test of our product. And then I tried to find a cheap alternative to go to market campaign. So I stumbled across Product Hunt. The main objective was, first of all, to test the market and also to get some social proof, like that badge of product of the day. Those were the two main reasons and the two main goals, and we achieved them. But now we are focusing on creating a powerful SEO campaign and to have a powerful spot on Google. So more of organic traffic. And also we are creating some organic campaigns. So featuring the images that IMGPT creates. Not so keen on paid advertisement at the moment, because even though we have recurring revenue, it's still expensive, even for us. So right now we're just moving slowly with organic campaigns. And after that, and after several iterations of IMGPT, we'll start doing some paid advertisement and going big.
It sounds like a decent path forward. I think sometimes, in particular, agency owners starting to market their own product jump quite quickly into what they know and will start to spend money because they've been used to spending money. And it's just, no, keep testing and keep iterating. I think you've got the right ethos there. So it's you mentioned that you've done well on Product Hunt. So what was your expectations going in?
So I came across Product Hunt like probably a week and a half before launching. I like the idea, and I like the fact that it's mainly early adopters, which is probably right now the main demographic that we're targeting for IMGPT, because it's still a very new tool and still a new concept. Because yes, AI is everywhere, but not everyone is really familiar with AI. So Product Hunt was probably the best place to start. And yeah, I've tried to find something on YouTube about launching on Product Hunt, but I found 2 videos. So I tried to see popular launches, see what they've done, see what worked for them, and then iterate those things for myself as well.
So you came fourth.
Yes, it was 4th.
Yeah. Do you expect to come first, or were you hoping to come in the top 55?
No, I was hoping to be in the top 3. So number 4 is pretty close. This was the scope of this go-to-market campaign and this launch and Product Hunt, to just, first of all, test people wanted my product and liked it. And second of all, to get that badge so I can put it on the website and have some more social proof. In the next launch on Product Hunt, which I think it's been 2 weeks or something like that, we'll have a different goal. We'll target the day where we have much more on the website, so on Product Hunt. And that goal will be just to get new customers, so not the social proof part.
Okay, it's interesting. You're very pragmatic about it. And Product Hunt is another cog in your bigger go-to-market. Whereas I've seen a lot of people, in particular younger folks, get into the idea of achieving a badge on Product Hunt as a goal in and of itself. So it's interesting that you're looking at it as this is one tick off the list, and then we move on to the next one.
Yes, exactly. Because you can have that badge, but if you don't have customers coming in, then it's useless. That just helps you in support, as you said.
So from there, you're going to be relaunched in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
What are you going to do differently next time?
So first of all, probably planning way ahead. So not like I did the first time. Also nourishing the followers on IMGPT and also my followers. So the community, engaging more, and also I guess creating better media for the launch, because at the first launch I created the video explainer like 1 hour before. So it was pretty rushed, and now I want to take things to a new level and make something more professional.
You've taken a very gung ho approach, and it's an entrepreneur spirit sometimes to say, we're going to do this. How long have we got? Is there a particular reason why you chose to be so quick from coming across the platform to launching, or is it something you read or saw or just thought yourself?
Not exactly, but since I live in Romania, in Europe, we have allocated some European funds. And basically, if I want to get a shot at achieving those and getting those funds, I need to have some kind of way to show the people that, well, I have product market fit. I also have some customers and I have people that want and need my product. So this was the reason why I rushed the launch, so I can get those quickly and then move along with the plan to get some funds and really take IMGPT to where I want it to be.
Okay, so when you say funds, what do you mean by that?
So the European funds are, depending on what type of business or startup you have, are funds that are I don't know how to say it, but you don't have to give them back. So
We call that a grant in English. It's a
yes,
grant.
they are grant funds. You don't have to give equity of your company or anything like that. You just get them, and that's if you use them as you specify in your business plan. But they are yours to spend, which is really helpful, especially for startups.
100%. I've seen many startups look to go for grants before and then get caught out in some technicalities along the way of you have to stay in the UK or different things, but it can be a very fruitful place to start. It's a great idea for you and your brother to go for it. And I hope you're able to achieve what you want to with it. It's fantastic. So as we look for the next launch, obviously you're going to have some type of updates and other things. What should we expect to be different on the platform now?
So first of all, the link analyzation part. So how it works at the moment, you type your link and then our API goes to your page. And instead of scanning the content like the HTML tags, the CSS and all of that, it creates like a screenshot for it and then visually analyzes it. So instead of just reading the meta description of an image, for example, this is a product image, it sees the product. It is how it looks. It reads all the text, so all the description, all the prices, the headlines, all of that, and then creates comprehensive guide on your brand, your product, your target audience, your selling points, your features, all of that. But one thing that we don't have at the moment and we'll have at the next launch is it will use your product images in creating the ads. So they'll be like almost one-of-one. The ad will feature your product almost like it is on the website, which will be very powerful because there won't be any issues with the image generating part. For example, if you have a complicated product, right now, it will probably not be the same as the product on your homepage or your website, which is a kind of an issue, but we'll fix this. And also we've changed how the generation process works for the images. So now if you want the image right away, but you like the idea, you can edit almost anything. So remove background, change background, resize it, replace or add certain elements to the ad. So you'll have a lot more freedom.
Longer term, is the tool going to be integrated with different platforms? I can imagine this long term being a plugin for probably a line of code into a Webflow website somewhere. So every time you uploaded a new product, you could automatically generate some of the creatives, or perhaps on WordPress, you could do something similar with Shopify and other places. Is that the plan, or are you going down a different route?
This is not the plan, but now that you say it, it's actually a brilliant idea, and I think we'll look into it. The plan of integration was so automatically when you press a button, after you created your ad, it will be implemented in your Meta Business Suite. So in the media library, in Google Ads, or in Canva, or other tools. So it'd be easier to integrate it in your current workflows. But not also this, probably next year, because it's a big step. We're trying to have one-click ad campaigns. So you just press as it is right away. You put your link, and instead of just generating the ad and the creative like it is at the moment, it also create your audience, so your targeting. It will create a good budget for your brand, for your purposes, and for the length of your campaign. So all that a marketing agency does, it will be just in one click, in a couple of minutes, and it will be directly sent to your ad account. This is like the main goal of IMGPT and where we want to get.
Okay, so it's almost going to be a full agency for somebody who can afford an agency.
Yes, this is exactly what we want to achieve with IMGPT.
I've seen a few people have a similar intention towards different processes. And usually, like yourself, they understand that there's a market below them, a market below where it's profitable to service. And obviously they can't service them or everybody there. So they're creating this type of thing. It's a clever way of looking at it. I can imagine it as well. One thing that might be quite easy for you to do would be a Chrome extension. That would be a relatively easy thing to code. From my understanding, I'm not a coder, but I've spoken to somebody recently, a few people who've made Chrome extensions. So that might be something interesting to look at.
Yeah, that's actually another good idea.
So what happens with a Chrome extension is it goes in the side. There's a sideboard or something it's called. Again, I'm an old school marketer, so we don't know much past Excel. So it's an interesting future for you guys. So it's obviously from there, you're going to be going back on Product Hunt again. You've got some fantastic ideas for the product moving forward. Is there anything else that you'd like to add or discuss as we go through?
I think that because you keep mentioning the market we're addressing is really big and really lucrative, but yes, it's good because we can make money and then reinvest it in the firm, in the company. But this is nowhere near our goal, as I stated before. IMGPT is not a company for profit per se. Yes, we do charge and we do make a profit, but we want to make it as humanly cheap as possible for people like me, like us, for young people, for everybody actually, to create ads and to market their products effectively on the internet. So why I've created and why we've created IMGPT is first of all to make this and also to show the people that you don't need 100K for a software company or you don't need a diploma or something like that. I'm 18. I had all the coding I know is from YouTube, and all the money I invested in this company till now was my money from my savings. So these were the two goals, and these are still the two goals of IMGPT.
I work with a few companies who would be over in the UK considered a social enterprise. So their intention is not to make money, but I always say to them, what happens is that the more money you make, the more you can do. So if you want to reduce your prices, the more you generate, then fine. If you want to offer more services, then fine. But at the end of the day, if you don't make any money, then you don't make any profit. And I think then that profit helps you help more people. So it's one of those things, isn't it, where you've got an altruistic heart, but then unfortunately, if you don't make the profits, and it's very difficult to keep going. So it's not that I want to keep laboring on it, but it's just that I know, in essence, if you made £1 off 1 billion people, you've still made £1 billion. So it's, and obviously when you're at the bottom end of the business pyramid, then that's how things would work. But it's very interesting because I think for images and for people's products and things, it depends on what types of products that they're creating, because obviously if somebody's already created a store and then they're looking to advertise, looking at your cost within their overall cost structure would be relatively low because they've done a website, they've perhaps got physical products. And if they've got physical products, they've already invested a lot, so if you were to be too altruistic with some of those, perhaps they would not necessarily need that altruism that the younger people might need. So it might be interesting to see how you separate your pricing accordingly. So somebody who was such as yourself just starting up, there might be some like a grant or something that people could apply for a reduction of fees.
We're actually wanting to implement this. So if you have a startup or if you're a student like I am, then our product will be free for you for as long as you need it. For example, if you're a student, for as long as you're a student and stuff like this. So as I say, to help the ones that need help, and the others, it will be charged as normal.
Okay. So if we look at your grand vision then, because altruism at a young age, I've seen a few companies go down that route where Tom's Shoes is a very famous example where you buy one shoe and then somebody else in a third world country would get one for free. Is this sort of your business ethos and how you hope to build business in the future, or is this specifically for this type of venture?
I think this is more for this type of venture at the moment. But since I don't believe this will be my last business or my last startup, I think that I'll lean more on this side of helping people, because at the end of the day, you can have all the money. It's just a piece of paper. You can have all the power, but without people and without connections, you're not. So I think that this is the most important part, helping others. And the way you choose to help others dictates how you will succeed or not. But this is, I think, the main goal actually of a person, not a business or an enterprise of somebody.
Oh, wonderful. If more people had your mentality towards the world, I think it would be a much better place. Yeah, but we'll see. Perhaps you can inspire the next generation to come through now. There's a massive disconnect from older generations, at least with the way in which they view business.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to go into? No? Okay. Then we'd love to have you back on and to discuss the progress you've made and what's next in 6 months' time, because I think your journey is going to be interesting, especially for young entrepreneurs. I think when we look at the way in which the world's changed, once over, it was Warren Buffett, for example. He was selling newspapers door to door. There's people having lemonade stands, and the world's moved on now where often somebody's first business is something digital. So it's just an incredible change. So it'd be lovely to speak to you and find out more. And then hopefully we can talk about what entrepreneurs could learn from you and the younger generation and some of the philosophy for life, which I think is perhaps more important.
I'd be delighted as well.
Okay, David, it has been a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to being here again.